So, as we both know, as the world knows, shocking passing of what we all consider to be a legend in
Yeah.
the film, Hollywood film, television community. Rob Reiner and his wife, of course, passed away. And, obviously, we do this podcast. We've talked about a few of his movies already in as far as standalone episodes. Princess Bride. We've talked about When Harry Met Sally. It this one was hard. I think even circumstances being
Yeah.
what they are, even if he had just passed away from natural causes, it still
Yeah.
would have been a shock.
Because we lose him too early regardless.
Yeah,
But the way that it happened is the most shocking because it's just so I mean, no one should go that way. It's horrible and
yeah.
um unfortunate and sad, and I'm still processing the loss,
This
but
was like I
he's had
said, it's
such an
hard.
impact on the industry, and
Right,
he has
and I
such a
think
legacy of films.
yeah,
But what I love most about him is and it's not just the work that he does, but it's who he is as a person. He's always
mm,
warm and caring, and he always gets the best out of the people that he's working with, and
yeah,
everybody has only the best things to say about him. It's
absolutely. What I found interesting is obviously a prolific director, not only for our generation but for the generation before us, but mainly our generation. I mean, when you look at the run he had in the '80s alone, from '84, I guess to '90,
yeah,
it was. I mean, everything he was doing. He was very selective, I believe, with stuff. He wasn't directing everything. He wasn't directing a lot, but the things he was directing all seemed to hit on multiple levels as a
yeah, and
viewer.
it span a variety of genres. He
Yeah,
did horror, he did comedy, he did romance.
fantasy,
It's
fairy tale.
incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, even though he hadn't anything, I mean, he did the sequel to Spinal Tap, and he's actually filmed a sort of a finale film for Spinal Tap that's coming out next year. He hadn't done
Yeah,
anything in a while, but the legacy he left behind is right up there, I think, with a lot
yeah.
of the other directors we talk about: Spielberg, Zemeckis, Nolan. It's just a different way. A different sort of feel because he did. You're right. He was able to span multiple genres.
It's a tragedy, and, it's always sad when you hear of an actor or someone in the industry that you really enjoy passing, but this just you texted me late at night, and I just couldn't believe it, and then
Yeah,
as word has come out more and more about the details and everything, it's just shocking and
yeah,
unfortunate, and we had to say something because, he's had an
absolutely.
impact on both of us.
Our generation, growing up in the '80s and even like early '90s, he's right up there. Like I said, with Spielberg, with Zemeckis, with directors that were putting out quality, sort of life changing movies that were spanning multiple genres. So, of course, because what we do here is we talk movies and such, it got me to thinking about the movies that he has done. So I put together what I would consider to be my top 10 favorite Rob Reiner films. I do have an honorable mention to start
Okay.
things off. It's actually a documentary that he did a few years ago on Albert Brooks, and Albert Brooks is still with us, and he's a comedy genius. And Rob Reiner directed this amazing documentary on Albert Brooks's career that came out. So that's my honorable mention. Standing at number 10 is a movie called The Sure Thing
Mm,
with John Cusack, one of John Cusack's first films, early
yeah.
films. John Cusack and his friend, I think Anthony Edwards plays the friend, who are on this quest to like get with Nicolette Sheridan, who in this movie is titled The Sure Thing. Her character's name is The Sure Thing.
Yeah.
Number 9 for me is a movie that came out in 2007 called The Bucket List with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. This one I know a lot of people it would
Okay.
probably not make a lot of people's top 10 Rob Reiner films. I really enjoy this movie. It's where it needs to be on this list for me.
I feel like because of the situation, I can't really argue your top t
Well, I mean, look, I mean, you're still entitled to an opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like Rob Reiner was throwing bangers out all the time,
Yeah, I
but
just don't wanna be disrespectful to him.
not at
So
all. Number 8, Ghosts of Mississippi,
oh, wow.
1996. Yeah, this one sort of took me by surprise when it came out. Alec Baldwin,
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg, James Woods in an Oscar-nominated role about the true story about the Medgar Evers assassination and all that. And it's one of, to me, Alec Baldwin gets forgotten about as a serious actor in the last 20 years of his career because he hasn't really gone that route. But this is one of those that came out almost 30 years now, where he plays the lawyer who's trying to get justice for Medgar Evers' widow. Number 7, The American President, Michael Douglas, Annette Bening, Martin Sheen, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. I really loved this movie when it came out. Yeah, I've seen it many times.
Number 6, Misery.
It's an amazing
An
Stephen
amazing
King
movie.
adaptation.
I know. It was one of those things where does it's go into my top 5, but when I looked at what is coming up in my top 5, I like where it is at 6. This is the first movie for me that introduced me to Kathy Bates. Maybe for
This
a
is
lot of
the
people.
first movie that really introduced
Introduced
Kathy
everybody.
Bates to the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Oh my goodness. I saw this in the theater at 12 years old. No
Whoa.
business. No
No.
business. But
No. I
amazing.
saw it many times on TV edited, and it was
Yeah.
still
Whew.
unnerving and scary as
Yeah.
can't believe you
Uh,
saw that in a theater.
sorry, Mom. Number 5, This is Spinal Tap. It's not that long of a film, but it's still very,
It's
timeless
hilarious.
and hilarious and, this sort of mockumentary style way of doing it is something that has been carried over even now in television over the last 15 years.
Oh, yeah, and Christopher Guest really took the torch after this movie and created his
Yeah.
own mockumentary universe.
Number 4, A Few Good Men.
Wow, number 4.
I know.
I kinda thought you would put this in your top
Well,
2.
I think a lot of people would have in their top 3 and their top 2 probably.
Wow.
Aaron Sorkin, Rob Reiner, in an Oscar-nominated directing
Yeah. I
feat. I
mean,
think he's the only time he got
it's an
nominated.
incredible movie.
This movie is from top to bottom, start to finish, is one of the
So good.
one of the best legal dramas out there as well.
Now,
Uh,
I think I know what your number 1 is, but man,
you're going to be surprised that it's not. It was really hard for me to rank these next 3, and even though this movie is my favorite romantic comedy of all time, I'm putting it at number 3, which is When Harry Met Sally. A lot of people would think it would be my number 1 or even number 2.
okay, so I'm 98% sure I know what the last 2 are. I think I would have put A Few Good Men in my top 3
Yeah,
based on what I'm sure is next.
sure. Well, this next movie as number 2, we've already dedicated a whole episode to, and that is The Princess Bride.
Wow,
That's
I
my
thought
number
that'd
2.
be your number 1.
Yeah, the 3 that are in my top 3 easily
Yeah.
could have hit any number of these spots.
Well,
But
I
I
can
put
tell you
Princess Bride.
right now, I disagree with your number 1.
Really? Okay. Well, my number 1 is the 1986 Stephen King adaptation of Stand By Me.
I mean, it is great. Don't get me wrong, it is great. I would have probably put it at number 4.
Okay. And that's, I mean, again, this is what we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
But then I probably would have had, Princess Bride at number 1, and then probably A Few Good
Good Men
Men,
at 2?
and then, When Harry Met Sally.
Okay, so we agree
Those
that
2 would be tough.
When Harry Met Sally is at number 3, we both would have had it there.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner, to me, is the epitome of quality over quantity because he really
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
direct that many films. Now, over the last decade, he did a couple of things, but he had again that run from '84 to '92.
Yeah.
They're all just quality films. Stand by Me, for me is
It's great.
coming of age. Set in the 50s, 60s, that time period, the music, all of that.
River Phoenix.
Will Wheaton, Jerry O'Connell,
Yeah.
Corey Feldman. Richard Dreyfuss as the narrator. It's all just all of these pieces sort of came to Kiefer Sutherland. So that's my top 10 to the great legend Rob Reiner.